Good evening and welcome to the Return Homestead. My name is Mike and my wife Marty and I are in transition right now. We have been homesteading 50 acres in southeastern Kentucky. We're in the process of moving to a new location. We've had to do a lot of work on this 2001 Fleetwood and we're finally finished. We've put up the last piece of trim, so let's take a look and see how things have gone. The laundry room now is light and bright. I actually put 3 overhead lights in here. We're tired of losing socks and having the washing machine be accused of eating them. So we decided to put plenty of light in here. We've gotten rid of all of that old dark heavy paint that was up on the walls, replaced it with the nice lighter gray that reflects the light extremely well. So now we have a light and bright space for us to do our laundry in. One of the other rooms that we had to pay attention to was this small bedroom, which we've converted into an office. We had to rebuild the wall that it shared with the laundry room. And so we went ahead and got a fresh coat of paint on this. We did not put up a closet door. We just trimmed out the closet area so that there's a decent sized closet here in this small space. It could be used as a bedroom. Like I say, we're using it as an office. But we also added this beautiful blingy light fixture, which has added a really nice lighting texture on the wall. So we've been really pleased with this small space. We've also had to pay attention to this back hallway. It was really dark and not very useful. It was truly just a place to pass through. We did replace this door. This was just a standard man door that was covering up the hot water heater. We went ahead and made something decorative out of that. And we've also made a coat rack here on the back wall. So there's places to hang up coats as you come in from outside. Everything's lightened up and certainly looking a whole lot better since we finished. And then the last big project to get finished has been this small bathroom.
And in this small bathroom, the work included replacing the subfloor. It was way too damaged. We couldn't rebuild on top of this. So we did have to go in and cut out all the subfloor and then figure out how to hang a new piece of subflooring before we could even build the bathroom.
And it might seem like, why did it take so long to do this? We were working on a budget and we were stretching things as far as we could to get this room finished. But we finally got the toilet and the sink in. We built the vanity out of scrap wood we had here on the property. We got a nice mirror that we found at Walmart that went up on the wall. And finally, we've got a nice guest bathroom finished up and ready for use. Probably one of the biggest places that we've made changes here in this 2001 Fleetwood is here in the kitchen. The kitchen was an original mobile home kitchen. It had narrow counters that didn't make any sense. They were on odd walls, so nothing really flowed together nicely as a kitchen. And the cabinetry was just, it was terrible. So we ripped it all out, including the walls. We've rebuilt this wall, closing off a walkway so that we would have a permanent wall here to build the apothecary on. And we've reinstalled new butcher block countertops with, yes, just some off-the-rack cabinetry, but they're large, deep cabinets that will actually hold the appliances we need them to hold.
We had one unique surprise here in the kitchen. After we demoed this wall, we had to rebuild a good portion of the outside of the wall. And then we also added this pantry in the corner. We framed that out completely to make it nice and secure.
That brought us into the living room. The living room we really didn't do a whole lot to. It does share a wall with the kitchen, so that wall did get rebuilt completely, and it completed the square, so to speak. This room is almost perfectly square. It's just slightly off on one side, which makes it a very comfortable space, but we had to close off that walkway into the kitchen in order to make that happen. Now we enjoy just sitting and relaxing in here. But it's here in the bedroom that we're most proud of the work that we were able to get done. Everything has really changed in here. The headboard of the bed used to be the closet. So we simply took the closet out, built the headboard in there. Marty has a nice makeup table desk sitting inside of the entryway. And this big jut out that comes into the room is actually the shower in the master bath. And you'll see from the photos in the video that this used to be a garden tub, and we've converted it completely into a cedar-lined closet.
We still have to take the shower out. The wall's down, the floor's up, the tub's coming out, and we're going to rebuild this wall. Before we do the rebuild, this is the next thing to go.
And we did replace one 2-sink vanity with another 2-sink vanity, but you'll see from the pictures this is not the same thing. This vanity was a little bit difficult to get in here, but well worth the effort. And it's sort of the entry point for this bathroom, which includes the massive 4x4 shower that we did tile in so that it's nice and permanent. And that brings us out to the porch, which finally no longer has a collection of saws on it. We have finished up the work. We got all of the trim in place. Now it's just waiting for the finance company and the other people involved with the title to get everything ready for us to close on this house. We do have a buyer in hand currently. It's real estate, so nothing's ever 100% certain until you sign the dotted line. We've also located another property we're very interested in making the purchase on, and we've got all the paperwork rolling on that purchase as well. So hopefully we can time all this exactly right and be able to swing from one property into the next, hopefully seamlessly. You may be wondering why we would go through all of this effort. We have been here on this property for 3.5 years. It's where the channel has begun. And a lot of people would say we should probably just stay in place since we're building the channel on that. But the reality is we're building the channel on the idea that it's time for most of us to return to the land, return to labor, and return to life. And the only way people are going to be able to do that is if they're ready to make a change. The transition is not easy. This has been a very long and laborious process to get everything pulled together at the last minute to get it on the market. And now we're having to fight and struggle to get all the paperwork done for the financing and to make sure that everything goes off without a hitch. There have been a lot of other unusual things that have happened to us in the meantime because we're busy trying to get the world to change to accommodate where we want to live. And that's always going to add additional confusion around the edges. We've had problems with the septic, we've had problems with the truck, and there have been plenty of problems with paperwork and bureaucracy that we've had to deal with in causing this to happen. We knew this stress was going to be coming. We've been dealing with it fairly well. We're looking forward to it being over though. And eventually it does complete. You get that closing date and you show up for closing at the title company, couple of quick signatures, and everything changes. We're looking forward to that day. We're looking forward to taking you along as we begin a new chapter of the return homestead on a new piece of property. If you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, please take a moment to do that. That way you'll make sure to stay up to date on everything that we're doing as we make this transition. And while you've got that window open, if you could hit that thumbs up icon, that'll let the algorithm know you enjoyed the video, and they'll share it out with more people. We'll see you next time.